camera angle.
Greetings, dear, beautiful, precious, magnificent spirit soul that you are, uncontaminated by any experience, any situation, any body you've ever inhabited in this three-dimensional reality. My topic, how to have spiritual vision. When you have spiritual vision, you see through the facade. You see through the veils of ignorance into the heart of the matter. And yes, the matter is generated, in a sense, through giving the heart into the manifestation, you see. Because the heart is the greatest generator that there is. Because that's where you reside in that body, along with your beloved, the spirit soul, the divine, super soul. Let's call super soul. And there's another word for the God presence with us called Paramatma, which means super soul, super self. And it describes in the Vedas like we're like two birds sitting on a branch in the region of the heart. And that the divine, we call Mother, Father, God, or however you desire, the supreme beings, are watching us, is watching you, your own God, your own divine being, watching you, waiting for you to turn around and experience the divine pleasure of the soul, of who you are in every way, all powers and abilities. And yet, each of us are looking outside there for the pleasure, for the happiness, for the love, for the satisfaction, for the fulfillment, and then putting all that into 5 sense gratification of the physical body. And that's why someone who may have this huge, enormous body because they're getting their satisfaction from the tongue, and showing that the more you have, the worse off it becomes, because it increases that. So that is a lie then to say that watching certain violence and certain things and desensitizes people to they don't want it. It actually, that people become addicts. And what that means is the person has so focused on the mind, because when you have spiritual vision, you can see through all to the spirit behind all that is. And you also perceive also the virtual reality, which is also a perverted copy or a shadow copy of the divine. You also perceive the divine, you see, because you have spiritual vision. And when you have spiritual vision, and the key, it really to operate in the mode of goodness. And in the Vedas it explains there's these 3 modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And it's compared to the colors of yellow, red, and blue. We would call that of the prism of the consciousness of the mind. And when we focus on goodness, they call it satya, or goodness, and do good, we are much more likely in every way to give ourselves the great and to receive the opportunities of the greatest gifts that are available to us, of the greatest realization and activation of who we truly are. To me, I call this a divine experiment. This has always been my work. And when I had my ministry in the television ministry of the 80s and was, on the cover of the magazines and doing all of this out there, to realize I feel so bemored, because I don't use the word be less, because that means to be less you. I know people are very attached, but that's what you're saying. But to be more me were these great Vedic teachers who came to my church, my ministry, and brought me the great teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. Now that was added to my teachings and the knowledge of the Essenes and being an Essene bishop and doing the Essene work of Yeshua, and then also all of the other studies of the different great religions of the world and philosophies and science and psychology, all of these things, of studying these for my own benefit, to find out and be who I am, to develop myself and all of this, and to manifest what I desire and want, and then to share that with others, to help people, to give this to them what I had known. And then when I left that, part of my life in the ministry at that level was because I had always said, if I find something better, I'll leave this, because I'm not attached to any teaching. I'm only attached to the divine, to know and to be in the divine experiment of who we really are. And that means you have to realize what fear is and what guilt is. And there's like false and real, you might sense. But yes, there is the shame when we realize what we've done. And then to realize also that how we ever got to the point of doing that through all of the beliefs, and basically through the depowerment of our own divine consciousness, through all these layers of ignorance, of concepts and beliefs and hypnotic trances and suggestions and indoctrinations and all of these kinds of things. When we truly do know it all, but not in the mind. It cannot know you because it isn't you. It's an apparatus, but it isn't you. And when you control that by knowing that, then you it's by staying focused in your own heart, your being, and grounded very much on the earth. And owning those elements. Here we are at the water and the sun, the earth, the oxygen, you see, the fire of the beautiful manifestation in creation. And so with spiritual vision, you can perceive what's going on, but you act from the mode of goodness to do good. And because when we get to the ultimate absolute goodness, there is no other anything that ever does exist other than always operating in divine harmony with the absolute that we are all part of, and all love and adore each other, you see. And I think I scare a lot of people because when I play a lot, and I love and adore people and see really who they are and appreciate them. They get frightened. People get frightened. They always want, what do you want from me? I never want anything from people. I'm there to contribute. And what I know is also when you let people give to you, and this is the giving and the receiving, when we allow others to give to us, it's allowing them to have the pleasure of giving, and it also allows us to be able to receive, to be able to also give, you see. It keeps the cycles all going, all the time. So yeah, with spiritual vision, in the mode of goodness, is to bring ourselves into right harmony with ourselves, of who we truly are, and start acting that way now, by being now in your ideal spiritual world, and behaving that way, and knowing who yourself to be in every moment with spiritual vision. Yes. Woo-hoo. Did you throw that rock down there? That was good.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
That was good. I'm glad.
Let's see.
Huh?
We're doing sound effects.
That was good.
All right.